Hello Mech Warriors and welcome to This Week in Comp for the week of August 12th, 2024. The Championship Series is about to get started, so I'll start by going over the format real quick, followed by some important rules, and then we'll talk about what to look forward to this week. Let's begin with the format for those who aren't yet familiar. The Championship Series is an 8v8 all-tech tournament that uses the competitive queue system in-game, followed by a private lobby phase for the top 12. For individual drops, no duplicates are allowed, and you can have no more than 3 of each weight class. There's no restriction on mechs that have variants available for C-bills, which include loyalty and special variants, and hero mechs. However, no legends will be allowed, even those available for MC. Note that in the queue phase, only legend omnipods may be used due to technical limitations. However, the center torsos may not. The competitive tab will become available on August 20th for team registration. The queue itself will be open on Thursday and Saturdays, starting on the 22nd going until October 19th. Additionally, there is an invitational mini tournament that will be run ahead and early in the queue. Participation on that is based on performance in player-run tournaments throughout the year. This will pull 3 teams out of the queue phase and seed them as the top 3 in the top 12 phase. More on that later. The top teams will be offered spots from the queue in standing order to fill out the remaining 9 spots in the top 12 on September 15th. The tournament to begin on the 28th. All right, so that's the basic format. Here's some things to keep in mind and some important rules. There are rewards for teams that complete at least 20 games and more every 10 games after that until 60. Rewards will be distributed according to the team's accomplishment after the tournament to those pilots that are on the roster at the end of the season. Individual games played does not matter as long as the pilot is on the roster. Next is an important rule update. Teams that wish to compete or might compete in and for a spot for the top 12 phase must register their team in the MWO Comp Discord, which you can find linked in the description, before Tuesday, September 2nd at 1 a.m. UTC. If you're asking what does that mean, fret not, I've got you. Registered teams are considered locked until September 15th and are not allowed to use players who are not listed on their roster during the roster lock period. Additionally, players who are on a locked team are only allowed to play on the team to which they are registered. Teams who do not make it to the top 12 will be released from the roster lock after teams are pulled for the top 12. Those that do make it will continue to have their rosters locked until the end of the tournament. Importantly, if you do not register your team by September 2nd, your team will be considered to have declined inclusion in the top 12 regardless of placement. For instructions on how to register and frequently asked questions, see the roster lock link, also found in the description. That should cover the tournament overview. If you have more questions, check out the rules docs in the description. Ralphy One Pants One Sheet Q Explainer and Yuntow's How to Comp from a few years back. And of course, the MWO Comp Discord server is a great place to find more info, ask questions of players and refs, and find a team. Now, on to what's coming up this week. This weekend begins the invitational phase with the knockout round of the invitationals. This will determine the top 3 who will go on to compete in a round-robin tournament to determine the seeding. The following teams have accepted invites to the invitational: Fidelis Machina, 5th Jaguar Dragoons, Mantra, Clan Crossfire, Fjord, and Fjord Rangers. You may see some notable exclusions from this list. A number of teams declined the invite, which means they have opted to compete for a slot from the top 12 in the queue. Matches will begin with Fidelis Machina versus Clan Crossfire, August 17th at 1:30 a.m. UTC, to be followed directly by the loser of that match going up against Fjord. The 5th Jaguar Dragoons will be going up against Mantra on August 17th at 5 p.m. UTC, the loser of that match to go up against the Fjord Rangers directly after. To convert that to your local time, I would suggest checking out the tournament link in the description. You can also check out my MWO Comp Google Calendar. Matches will be cast on the MWO League's Twitch channels. And finally, let's take a look at the current prize pool. This is funded by the Tournament Supporter Pack, which is substantial this year. half of the proceeds go into the pool, which at the time of recording is at $24,375. I think this puts us almost, if not even, with last year's total, and there's over 3 months to go to buy this. If you haven't already, buy a tournament supporter pack or 2, or all of them. I suggest the retro pack, but I may be biased since I'm in that one. Since the competitive series happens mostly in queue, coverage will be difficult or atypical. I'll be covering the leaderboards, lobby phases, prize pool, and possibly some participant interviews, but let me know if there's some other content you may want to see. Also, sending clips. I'll take moments from the lobby cast, but also if you're out there in queue and record something fun, silly, impressive, or otherwise notable, send it in. I'd love to feature it. And that'll do it for this week in Comp. Thank you for watching, and I'm Ivor, and I hope to see you on the field.